Writing essays is part of your scholarship applications. Most of the scholarships require you to write some essays. They do have some questions for you. They ask you some questions and expect you to write essays. And it's important for you to know how to write your essays so that you are not rambling or you don't repeat yourself, you don't sound repetitive in your essays. And the best method to write your essays is to use the STAR method. It's often used for essays. You can also use it for interviews, for scholarship interviews, or for job interviews. It's a very good method that helps you to explain your experience in a more comprehensive manner. We're going to have a look at what the STAR method is, what each letter stands for, and then some examples of how you can address your essay questions using the STAR method. Before I proceed, I would like to tell you about the scholarship application document tool. Please go get it. If you haven't gotten it already, please go get it. The link is in the video description. This tool will help you to write your scholarship application documents like your personal statement, your CV, your research proposal. So go get your copy. You will find prompts to help you write your documents. You also help you find samples to guide you in writing your own scholarship application documents. Let's go back to the STAR method. I already explained that it's often used when you are writing your scholarship essays. The S is for situation, the T is for task, and the A is for action, and lastly, the R is for result. Let's have a look at each letter and also an example of how you can write your own essay, your own scholarship essays. The first thing is the S, of course, situation. You have to give context of the situation that you are in or the situation that you have experienced, and also give some background. Context or background is almost the same. You just have to give information about the situation that you experience. Where and when did this happen? What was the challenge or what was the issue? So you have to give a situation. And also, you should understand that when we say situation, it's not always a bad situation. It's not always where you have to give a tragic situation or a bad situation, but it will depend on the question. The context and the background that you give will depend on the question that you are being asked. It's not always the case that you have to give a set story. It's not always about a set story. It's the situation that you are in. It can be a positive or a negative situation, but it will depend on the question. So when you are responding to your scholarship question, read and understand what the question is looking for, and then think and ask yourself, what kind of situation um, can I talk about in this question? Is it a negative situation or is it a positive situation? Here's an example. During my final year at the University of Botswana, I noticed a growing number of students struggling with stress, depression, and anxiety, especially during exams. This is just an example. Sometimes you have to expand depending on the word limit that you are given. If you are expected to write more, then of course you have to expand on your situation. For the sake of the presentation, I just had to write something short to give you an idea. So you see that this is the situation that the person was in. They were remember the where and when. The where at the University of Botswana, when during final year. What was the situation? There was a growing number of students struggling with stress, depression, and anxiety, especially during exams. So there is context here. Already there is context when you read the response to the essay of that person, you already have an idea of what was happening. And then tasks. task, not tasks, sorry, task. What was the task? Explain what needed to be done. What was your responsibility or goal in that situation? What you should avoid here is talking about we did this. No, it's you. What did you do? Even if you worked in a team or you worked with other people, you should always stand out. You should always explain independently what you did in the situation, because the essays are about you. They are asking about what you did, not what the team did. So refrain from using we, but use I, and explain what you did specifically in that situation. Here's an example. As a peer counselor and student leader, I felt a responsibility to support student well-being and promote mental health awareness on campus. So there was that responsibility to support students, and then the task was to promote mental health awareness on campus. See, it's I, not we. Remember that. And then the action. What action did you take? Describe the specific steps you took. Focus on your contribution. What was your contribution? Even if you worked in a team, like I said before, what was your individual contribution? You have to talk about that, the steps that you took. Um, the action that you took. Like, for example, I initiated the action is coming from the task. You see, the task here was to promote mental health awareness on campus. And then that was the task. What was the action? The action here was to initiate a Wellness Week campaign in partnership with the university's counseling center. I organized mental health talks, self care workshops, and a peer support booth. I also facilitated student feedback sessions and led guided group discussion. You see that there is action there. Before, it was just a task. Okay, there's a task to promote mental health awareness on campus. That is a task. Now, what action do I need to take to make that task practical, or to make that task a reality? So these are the actions that were taken to make that task a reality. So you see the difference between a task and action. Action, you are actually doing the work. You are actually doing the practical work. And then result. What result came out of the action? After you initiated the wellness week, after you organized mental health talks and group discussions, what was the result? What was the result of those actions? Highlight the outcomes of your actions. Use numbers or feedback if possible. Reflect on what you learned. If you have numbers to show, use those numbers to show, because it's evidence. It's social proof. It's also called social proof. Here's an example. Over 300 students participated in the events. That's a number. Many reported reduced stress and increased awareness of campus support services. The university has since institutionalized the event, and I learned the power of initiative and collaboration in addressing mental health challenges. You see that there is an outcome here that came from the actions that were taken. Over 300 students participated in the event. That's a huge impact. That's a positive result. And then lastly, there is a learning outcome. The person explains what they learned from that situation or from that experience. That's basically how you use your STAR method, the STAR method, to answer your scholarship essays. And here are important tips that you should remember. Focus on your role, even if it was a team effort. This is very important, because oftentimes when I review scholarship essays, I see we. You cannot use we, it's I. Choose examples that align with the scholarship values: leadership, community service, impact. Find examples that align with the scholarship. Use action verbs and reflect on what you learned or how it shaped your goals. Okay, remember that. And if you want me to review your scholarship essays, please book through the link in the description. I'll review your scholarship essays as well as your scholarship application documents, like your personal statement, your CV, your research proposal, and give you constructive feedback so that you can refine your documents before you submit. All the best with your applications.